सब अपने शेल्फ में बैठे हुए हैं। अगर एक की भद पिट रही तो सब मज़ा ले रहे हैं, एक आदमी फंस गया तो सबको मज़ा आ रहा है।
Of course, I will never be paid as much as संजय लीला बंसल।
भूमि अब सिर्फ प्रॉफिट शेयर पे काम करती है।
मैंने ट्राई भी किया था मॉन्क बनने का, धर्मशाला में रहा हूँ मैं काफ़ी टाइम तक।
Hello, welcome to ETimes, and it's such a pleasure to have you, the three of you, because it's such a great team, and I think people are looking forward to the film and the trailer, of course, just with this team. So, firstly, let's start with you, sir. You know, what was the inception point for Afwaah?
Inception point is now it's all around us.
Yeah.
So I thought I should, मतलब आज जो anything can become anything.
Yeah.
A rumor can destroy a life. You know, something is made out and out of nothing something big can emerge. कुछ हुआ ही नहीं और बहुत कुछ हो जाता है अचानक. So I thought it's an interesting basis for a film where actually nothing happens.
Yeah.
And so much happens.
So much happens.
So उस तरह की that was the inception, the idea of the film, and then luckily Nawaz came on board, Bhumi came on board, so many other actors came on board.
Yeah.
Anubhav Sinha produced the film, so it was fantastic.
Absolutely. Bhumi, I remember you have told me once earlier that you would never compromise on the process on a film because you don't want to be mediocre. And is that why, you know, you've been choosing scripts like these? And also when you get to work with somebody like a Sudhir Mishra, you know, does that fulfill your creative, you know, want as an actor?
Oh, absolutely. One of my biggest fears in life has always been that, you know, I'll stagnate. I will become lazy and I would not want to, I would become too comfortable with what I have, you know, because when you're often complimented on your art or your craft, I think people tend to become comfortable, but it makes me very uncomfortable because I feel like, okay, I start questioning everything that I'm doing, my process. I'm like, I start questioning my sincerity towards the film on various levels. But that, I think that's also my process, you know, so that I don't stagnate as an actor. But obviously with every film, you know, even though you try give your most, I think just having a director who can kind of help you push boundaries is something that I'm constantly chasing. That's why for me to be a part of Afwaah, the biggest carrot I would say was definitely that I would get a chance to be directed by Sudhir sir, because that's something I always wanted, because I feel like I've seen all his films and for all selfish reasons, I feel like there's something that he does with his female characters.
Yeah.
You know, I think actors in his films really get an opportunity to step out of their comfort zone, and I got the same. And after experiencing his school of filmmaking, or, you know, whatever his process is, I feel like, you know, I've definitely matured as an actor. I don't know how much, but definitely a little while filming Afwaah.
Absolutely. Nawaz, you know, ये second collaboration है after Serious Men with Sudhir ji. How was the experience this time? और सबसे ज़्यादा challenging, what was it for you?
चैलेंजिंग तो आपको चैलेंजिंग रोल था, लेकिन इससे पहले वाला जो सीरियस मैन किया तो वो भी चैलेंजिंग था। बट द थिंग इज़ कि जो सर के साथ जब काम करता हूँ तो मुझे कोई भी फिक्र करने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती। मैं बहुत ही अपने आप को ऐसे फील करता हूँ कि मेरे को ये संभाल लेंगे टाइप में, इस तरह का चीज़ें हैं। ये कोई गलत चीज़ है परफॉर्मेंस होने नहीं देंगे। यू नो कि क्या होता है, इंडल्ज हो जाता है कभी कभी एक्टर, कभी कभी बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ करने का मन करता है एक्टर को, वहाँ कंट्रोल कर लेंगे। तो एक सिक्योर इन्वायरमेंट था जिसमें मिलता है मुझे इनकी फिल्मों में, जिसकी वजह से एक करेक्ट नोट पे परफॉर्मेंस जाती है, कोशिश की जाती है, वहाँ जाती है। तो उसमें मुझे इतना ज़्यादा कुछ वो करने की ज़रूरत नहीं, बिकॉज मैं बहुत ही सिक्योर था इस फिल्म में, बिकॉज ऑफ फिल्म और बिकॉज ऑफ माई को एक्टर, जिनकी वजह से अकेले की वजह से नहीं बनता कभी भी सीन्स या फिल्म, एक टीम होती जिसकी वजह से चीज़ें बनती हैं।
So for you, was the experience of Serious Men with Nawaz also one of the factors why you got him on board again, and how did you see him in this character?
No, I mean, for me, it's always the fact that when you're writing something, some face emerges, no? So, kuch, sometimes, sometimes you have to search, sometimes. So, in Nawaz's case, it's just kind of, I thought it was very interesting to write a part like this and work with him on this kind of part, which is very different from Serious Men, for instance.
Yeah.
So it's good to, and because he's so interested in his craft and wanting to sort of challenge himself, so it's there's always a synergy. I mean, he could say that it's all because of me, and great, but it's a lot because he sort of gives me that energy back, no? So it becomes a process like that. I mean, all of them do. That's the whole thing about acting and performances and all this. It's a whether it's the most junior actor or the senior actor, you get something from them. I mean, it might be that Bhumi is very junior, right? Me, I mean, she's almost like she was a kid when I was making my 10th film or something. But you learn a lot from very young people also. Because they're very brave, no? Somebody has not done anything pehle. He's not done it. So he's not afraid of making that mistake. Suddenly he does something in a way. If you give him that environment where he's not scared of you. That's why I always bullshit a lot with my actors. I sit around with them and chat and talk all sorts of nonsense, because with younger actors. And you have to break their view of you, because they start viewing you as a cult figure. Right? Sudhir Mishra. Then that is of no use to me or them. It's of no use to me if they think I'm some legend. And it's no use to them either. No. Because they'll be so petrified they won't do anything. So you have to break that. You have to make them crack all sorts of jokes with them, see a film with them, talk about their personal lives. So then they break, right? And then they try something, and then you get something. It's not, it's a two-way process, So, I mean, I quite enjoyed working with her also for the first time. She's quite amazing.
Bhumi has come out like a revelation because, here's one actor who's doing different characters
She's
film
also,
after film.
I know her in another context because I have this favorite young sister of mine, Shanu Sharma. She used to be her assistant.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
Shanu
true.
is one of my favorite women in the
People.
Favorite people in the industry.
Yeah, and the adage goes that when you can't change a situation, you should change how you react to a situation. So the three of you, how do you react to rumors or when there is intrusion into your personal life and the side effects of being an actor and a public figure? What is your process, all three of you, to reacting to rumors and not always be very sensitive about it, because as humans we can be very sensitive?
I think most times I ignore them, but when I feel like it's going to affect a loved one of mine, or if it's going to affect my mother, my sister, my work, like really affect my work, that's when I kind of try and deal with it in many different ways. But till now I've been fortunate that I've not had anything that's had a very, very adverse effect on me. Not that it can't happen in the future, but so far there hasn't been something that has really shaken me up. But I've seen it happen to so many people around me.
Yeah, but is that why you also like to keep things very personal sometimes, because things...
Absolutely. I try in 7 years of being an actor, there's very little about my personal life that's come out, and that's how it will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Nawaz, आपका क्या process है? When so much is being written, आप कैसे react करते हो उस पे?
So much written about?
An actor or a public figure या कोई
कुछ नहीं कर
rumors.
सकते आप, है ना? जब आपके बारे में लिखा जाता है आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि इससे पहले भी बहुत बार हुआ ऐसा कि किसी ने किसी को एक अफवाह उड़ी और किसी ने उस अफवाह में किसी बंदे को विलन बना दिया. अब लोग बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं वो थोड़ा कम विलन है, नहीं ज़्यादा विलन है. मैंने भी देखा, मुझे भी एक्सपीरियंस हुआ. ये होते होते जो है ना वो विलन बन जाता है, एंड जब तक वो सही चीज़ साबित होती है कहीं जाके, फाइनल जब रिज़ल्ट आता है तब तक उसका करियर ख़त्म हो जाता है. इतनी बुरी होती है अफवाह. यहाँ पे किसी को सोचने समझने की शक्ति भी नहीं है, ना डेयरिंग है बोलने की कि ये चीज़ गलत है. सब अपने शैल में बैठे हुए हैं. अगर एक की भद पिट रही तो सब मज़ा ले रहे हैं. तो इस तरह का माहौल है. फैक्ट तो ये है, एक आदमी फंस गया तो सबको मज़ा आ रहा है, यू नो। इस तरह की चीज़ें हैं जो फैक्ट है, यू नो। आप जैसे आप बोल रही हैं बीइंग ए सेलिब्रिटी, आप रिएक्ट ही नहीं कर रहे, क्योंकि क्या होता है कि एक कहावत सी है ना, एक शेरनी और शेर बैठा हुआ था जंगल में। तो ये चूहा है ना आके बोल रहा था शेर को, तेरी ऐसी की तैसी, तेरी बैंड बजा दूंगा, ठीक ये कर दूंगा। तो शेर ने बोली, इतनी देर से गाली दे रहा है चूहा तुम्हें, कुछ करते क्यों नहीं? तो शेर बोला, अरे छोड़ो ना, इसके मुंह क्या लगना, चूहा है। नहीं नहीं, तुम्हें इतनी देर से गाली दे रहा है। अब उसने शेर ने उकसा दिया उसको। शेर गया उसके पीछे, चूहे आगे आगे, चूहा पीछे पीछे, शेर जा रहा है। तो चूहे ने क्या किया, एक पाइप से, छोटे से पाइप से निकला और भागा। शेर जब उसके पीछे घुसा ऐसे, तो उसका मुंह आ गया उसका, ना तो उगलते बना निगलते बन रहा, ना तो आगे जा पा रहा ना पीछे। और पीछे से चूहा आके उस पर पिछाड़ा, तो उसके मारा उसके ऐसे, और सबको बता दिया। तो मैंने तो शेर के पिछवाड़े में मार दिया हैं। अब पूरी जंगल में ये जो बात आग की तरफ है, तो चूहे से पिट गया, मतलब चूहे से मात खा गया शेर। वापस जब कैसे तैसे करके वो अपनी गर्दन निकाल के आया शेरनी के पास बैठा, अरे पूरी अफवाह फैल गई पूरे जंगल में कि तुम्हारे मतलब लात मार के गया वो। बोले मैं इसीलिए बोलता था, इन गंदे लोगों के मुंह मत लगो, इसीलिए कह रहा था मैं। तो इस तरह की चीज़ें होती हैं।
तो आप ऐसे ही रिएक्ट करते हो इग्नोर करके, जैसे शेर ने रिएक्ट किया?
नहीं मतलब मैं तो ये शेर की कहानी सुन के मैं रिएक्ट नहीं करना चाहता। पता चला मैं भी गंदगी में पहुंच गया, और वो गंदा क्या होता है ना, गंदा आदमी आपको ललकारता है, इधर आओ, और जब आप उसके पाले में जाते हैं वहाँ वो आपसे स्मार्ट होता है। वहाँ एक तो आप यहाँ पे आ गए, ये गलती की, और यहाँ पे आने के बाद वो आपसे स्मार्ट है, यहाँ आपको फिर पछाड़ देगा। इस तरह की चीज़ होती है।
बिल्कुल।
तो बेटर है कि जो आपके बारे में अफवाह उड़ रही है सुनते रहो।
फिल्म के रिलेटेड बात करें, और जैसे सुधीर मिश्रा जी इतनी ज़्यादा ब्यूटीफुली कॉम्प्लेक्स फिल्में बनाते हैं, तो सर डू यू थिंक दैट OTT has, as a new space, has opened up so many avenues, and how do you see that change now, for filmmakers like you who have a very different voice?
No, I think it's a wonderful thing to have happened. एक तो क्या OTT का, you are not making film for now.
Yeah.
Right? You can make a film for 20 years later. Somebody can see a film that's always there.
Yeah.
Right? You are not making a film for your own territory. You are making a film for, my film might not work here, but people in Kerala might love it. Right? There's a whole wide thing that it opens. It gives you a revenue stream. So hopefully, I mean, the ideal thing is you make a film for theatre, and after that it goes permanently on some OTT platform, and it stays there, and and because of the nature of the audience, and because it doesn't have to become an immediate hit, you can make a film. No, I mean, of course, I will never be paid as much as Sanjay Leela Bansali, let's say. And that one has to accept. He's more popular.
Absolutely.
Of course. So, I mean, I have no problems in accepting that, but I get enough to make my film correctly. Like I made Serious Men, it was correct budget. Like I made Afwaah, it was the correct budget. So, I mean, I think it's a very nice atmosphere. I wish it had occurred earlier. It's very nice. And plus subjects open up.
Yeah.
I hope we don't mess it up. हम लोग मिलके थोड़ा सा संभल के अगर करें, नहीं तो अगर हम बहुत ज़्यादा खराब चीज़ें बनाएंगे ना, तो एक पॉइंट के बाद थक जाएगी ऑडियंस. So we have to be also careful of the, you count your blessings, look after the environment also. But I think it's a very good thing. The platforms are very nice. Some work that you see is very good.
Absolutely. Bhumi, lastly for you, I believe it's been more than 7 years now for you in the film industry, and it's such a beautiful balance that you've struck, wherein on screen people get to see you in these really meaty roles which give them a vibe like, if I may say, like someone like a Smita Patil, with the kind of roles that you're doing, and off screen on social media you have got this huge fan following for your glamorous fashionista side. So it's such a beautiful balance which you've struck. So how do you look at your career at this point, wherein you're working with a Sudhir Mishra, working with an Anubhav Sinha, working with an Anand L. Rai, and then you have this great fan following even on social media?
The only parameter for success for me honestly is other films that I do. You know, when I started off, I was very clear that I want to be known as an actor because I enjoy playing characters. I enjoy experiencing and realizing all the different facets of me that I have. That's the process I enjoy. So for me, the fact that I still get an opportunity to work in such diverse films with such diverse filmmakers, where like in a year I can go from doing a commercial pot boiler to coming into like an Afwaah to going into a, you know, a film like a Pati Patni or wo, for example, in 1 year, is very satisfying to me. And then being loved in those films.
Yeah.
So, you know, as
And Govinda Naam Mera
and
recently.
Govinda Naam Mera, you know, it was such a surprise for me because I got so much love for that part, you know, and I really, for whatever reason, I had not expected such large amounts of love to come for the character that I played in Govinda Naam Mera. So I just feel like fortunate where the fashion side of Bhumi is concerned, I was always there. You know, because since I was a child, I loved all aspects of being an actor, and I think fashion is also one of them. So honestly, at this point, after like 7 years, I'm just having a lot of fun. You know, I'm at a point where you know, it's a very big compliment where you have a filmmaker that comes and writes a film for you, like they have you in your mind when they're writing a film. That's a compliment, you know, where you get an opportunity to work with filmmakers that you always wanted to work with, where I can choose the films that I want to do. So I feel like I'm just full of gratitude. I feel secure, and I'm truly having fun right now.
Okay, so as we wrap up, a last fun question. I know it's a very, you know, very serious film talking about a deep issue, and we're talking about, you know, how Afwaah.
Actually, you know,
is
the
bad.
film is definitely speaking about a deep issue, but
It's
the
a dark
way
humor?
it's been treated because of the characters. You know, the
Oh.
characters are, you know, even
It's a
in your
satire
darkest
of
moments, you
sorts.
find comedy, right? I mean, you find at times moments where you laugh in your darkest moments as well. So there are a lot of those in the film. So the way it's been treated, it's quite entertaining. It's not heavy.
So, but is there amidst, you know, while rumors are bad and, you know, we are talking about that, but is there any rumor which you would really like that to spread about yourself? And a good humor.
So you start.
कोई अच्छी
कोई अच्छा रूमर भी तो हो सकता है कभी फॉर अ चेंज. तो अच्छा रूमर जो आप
जो मैं
चाहते हो,
फैलाना चाहूँ
जो
अपने बारे
फैलाना
में।
चाहते हो.
क्या बोला, वही है। मेरी एक ख्वाहिश थी कि मैंने ट्राई भी किया था मॉन्क बनने का, तो मैं चाहता हूँ वापस से रूमर फैले में
ट्राई
बन गया।
किया था?
हाँ ट्राई किया था बहुत पहले।
Really?
हाँ, धर्मशाला में रहा हूँ मैं काफ़ी टाइम तक।
तो क्या हुआ फिर?
फिर वापस आ गया, तो वापस से मैं चाहता हूँ वही रूमर फैले।
नहीं, रूमर से तंग आके शायद वापस मन हो मॉन्क बनने
वापस से,
का.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली। हाँ
सर यू
ऐसा फैला दो रूमर की सुधीर मिश्रा के साथ कुछ 1000 करोड़ की फिल्म बनाओ, वो बड़ी अच्छी बनाएगा
बहुत अच्छी।
और कमाल कर देगा। हाँ, एक है मेरा एक पेट प्रोजेक्ट, ले वो बहुत महंगा है, तो खबर फैल जाए तो अच्छी बात।
100 करोड़।
आई होप सो. व्हाट अबाउट यू भूमि?
यार मैं क्या रूमर फैलाना चाहूँगी? मैं तो यही हाँ कि भूमि अब सिर्फ प्रॉफिट शेयर पे काम करती है. Why not?
आई होप कि
I hope
It
so
comes
too.
सही है।
Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely talking to you. Thank
Thank you.
you.